This is Linda Murphy. It is Saturday, July 6th. Our reading is from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 2 through 10 from the Message. You forced me to talk this way, and I do it against my better judgment. But now that we're at it, I may as well bring up the matter of visions and revelations that God gave me. For instance, I know a man who, 14 years ago, was seized by Christ and swept in ecstasy to the heights of heaven. I really don't know if this took place in the body or out of it. Only God knows. I also know that this man was hijacked into paradise. Again, whether in or out of the body, I don't know. God knows. Then he heard the unspeakable spoken, but was forbidden to tell what he heard. This is the man I want to talk about. But about myself, I'm not saying another word apart from the humiliations. If I had a mind to brag a little, I could probably do it without looking ridiculous, and I'd still be speaking plain truth all the way. But I'll spare you. I don't want anyone imagining me as anything other than the fool you'd encounter if you saw me on the street or heard me talk. Because of the extravagance of those revelations, and so I wouldn't get a big head, I was given the gift of a handicap to keep me in constant touch with my limitations. Satan's angel did his best to get me down. What he did, in fact, was push me to my knees. No danger then of walking around high and mighty. At first, I didn't think of it as a gift and begged God to remove it. 3 times I did that, and then he told me, "My grace is enough. It's all you need. My strength comes into its own in your weakness." Once I heard that, I was glad to let it happen. I quit focusing on the handicap and began appreciating the gift. It was a case of Christ's strength moving in on my weakness. Now I take limitations in stride, and with good cheer, these limitations that cut me down to size. Abuse, accidents, opposition, bad breaks. I just let Christ take over. And so, the weaker I get, the stronger I become. The Bible is filled with unlikely heroes. Abraham, Moses, Jeremiah, Amos, all the way up to Peter, Paul, and Mary, ×3. Some, like Jacob, may even count as anti-heroes, fighting, fooling, and being fooled, pursuing and prevailing. Like deceptive Jacob dreaming of angels, former persecutor Paul recounts a heavenly vision that gave him otherworldly knowledge. In the end, we are shaped by our flaws, imperfections, and inability to escape on our own. In the middle of this mess, God shows up. When life takes unexpected turns, God is always present. When we are humiliated by failure, God is there. And so, Paul concludes, "So I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me." Gracious God, we believe. Help our unbelief, especially when we rely on our own power. Amen.